world slowly turning. I'm busy burning something potent to help my anxiety through the moments when I feel like these four walls are closing in. Leaving no room for me to move or breathe. I just want to break through these walls with the strength of Hercules. On one shoulder I could hear the whispers of my demons haunting me. The other shoulder I could hear the voices of my angels talking to me. No lie, right now it's hard to pick which one to believe. I swear all I pray for is love and peace. Something to put my mind at ease. Feeling like I'm standing in this cold world alone and naked. I guess it takes for me to be shot down for you to finally...
Yo, what up, world? It's your boy Stoug. You're now rocking with the best. Welcome back to the 10 Toes Down podcast. I know it's been a minute, but today we got a good one, I promise you. Today, I'm sitting with the dope artist, Ali. He's a poet from Queens. You know, he fucked with the platform. He gave me the opportunity to sit with me in front of this camera, and I promise you, today is going to be a good one. What's good, bro?
Ain't nothing, my G. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making the time. I know we rescheduled, but you've been flexible with your time, so I appreciate that for sure.
Of course. I fuck with the platform, so, I just wanted to come on and, show my love
I appreciate
to the platform and do what we need to do.
Appreciate it. So, let's jump right into it, man. How's your 2022 starting off?
Man, it's a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
talk about it.
Dealing with some family losses.
Mm-hmm.
Lost my grandfather.
Yeah,
top of the year. Appreciate it. So just dealing with the grievances of that, and just try to keep myself in a level head space and stay focused on.
For sure.
What it is that we need to do. So.
For sure. Now I understand, and I reached out to you, and gave you some of my condolences, and I see that he was a integral part of your life. Like, this is not just one of those losses where it's like, you could kind of move on easily. So, you're in the prayers and stuff like that. Just hopefully, you find the strength to make it through this tough time. You and your family, for sure.
Appreciate that for sure, man.
But I'm sure it kind of translates to your art.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, he's a big integral person. Just in my upbringing, how I came up, giving me a lot of wisdom, a lot of jewels
for sure
to follow in life. So definitely just channeling all those memories, thoughts, pain, is just putting it all into the art to get focused and just continue to deliver the best poems that I possibly can. So
all right. So I didn't mention it. So when I brought up your art, let's be very clear. This guy is a poet. He might look like a fucking rapper, but he's a fucking poet. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So, how did you get into poetry? Like, let's talk about that. Matter of fact, let's slow down. Let's keep it.
Okay.
Let's talk about your childhood, your upbringing.
It wouldn't really be any different than anybody else.
It has to be. Everybody
from
shit
our
is
community.
Different. So where you from? Let the world know exactly where you're from.
Okay. From Queens. Born in Hollis.
Mm-hmm.
My mom straight out of Hollis, Queens. My pop straight out of Hollis, Queens.
Oh yeah, so you feel like you run DMC and them niggas and shit.
Listen, man, I ain't.
That's something you was proud of.
They led the way.
So growing up, like, you were very aware of the Hollis influence or the Hollis impact on hip hop, because you got Run DMC and you have LL as well, right? LL is from there. Okay.
I was aware of who they were. I didn't understand the impact.
Okay.
Know what I mean? So like, you think of like Run DMC, LL, Russell Simmons,
for sure,
so forth and so on. Like, I was familiar with these names, but I didn't really understand the impact until I got a lot much older and did my research. Like, this is they like really staples with not only within the community, but just in rap and hip hop period.
For sure.
But upbringing, man, born in Hollis, lived in Jersey for a lot of years. Came back to New York. Queens, just running around, getting in trouble. Know what I mean? Just like
most of us.
Like most of us did, running around getting in trouble, influenced by the things that was going on outside on the block.
So what exactly were you influenced by?
Just neighborhood hustlers. Basketball courts on every other corner. So we into the
you kind of tall. You ball?
I play ball.
I don't like that answer. Do you ball or not, bro?
I don't ball no more.
All right,
I don't ball no more. When I did ball, I was balling.
Okay, all right.
I probably still got a good 16 left in the clip.
So what would you get in before? You talking about 16 now? Niggas is adults. Like, niggas have responsibilities and all that right now. If you can average 16, you still might be alright.
Listen,
so what would you average in your prime?
Listen, man, I'm gonna show you the numbers later.
Nah, I mean none of that shit would have worked on me, cause I ain't gonna lie, I would have locked all that shit up. I don't give a fuck about height. I'm one of the niggas that you gonna come across that their heart is out of this world.
You know what's crazy? Everybody say that till you step right in front, and then like.
Now we can play, bro. I'm not gonna lie, we can play. We could play. Whenever you got time, we gotta set it up. Like, there's a lot of people that ever since I got on this platform, niggas be talking basketball shit. I ain't run across none of these niggas coming up. So I feel away when niggas be talking about basketball, honestly. But that's just me. I take a lot of shit personal. For some reason, I'm just like that. Maybe.
So I'll tell you what. Whenever you ready to set it up, you got the number, hit my line. I'll beat it. I ain't never turned down the challenge on a one-on-one.
Say no more. So, like, back to your upbringing. What was it like in the crib? Like, how was it in the crib? Because it's like you grew up in Hollis where it's a heavy rap, hip-hop influence, but, you know, you seem to go towards poetry.
Yeah. Very, very musical, influential in the household. I mean, like, my mom's was playing Mary J.
Okay.
My grandmother's playing Anita Baker.
Yeah.
My uncle might have been bumping, like, Onyx and you know CNN.
So it's like a lot of versatility in the crib. It's like hip hop. You know, you got some old school. Then you got Mary J. Blige.
No matter where you was at in the house,
it's music playing.
It was music was just you couldn't escape it. You know what I mean? So it's just constantly going on in the house, no matter where you was.
Yeah.
So you know that became like the early introduction to just words.
Okay,
all right. You know what I mean? So like I've always been a fan of like words. So I was, even as a kid, I was listening to rap and just be like picking out like the best line or like, oh, this person said this, this sounds crazy.
So tell me like the first time, if you can remember, when you was like, damn, that line, like and it stuck with you.
Prodigy.
And do you remember the line exactly?
Stab you in your face with your nose bone.
Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck?
So what about that particular line that made you feel
was
like...
Just one, the line itself is aggressive. But the way he delivered it seemed just so...
graphic.
Cool.
Yeah, but
you envision that, like, and then just making you think to yourself, like, hold on. What's stabbing niggas in the brain with his nose? Like, that's crazy to say. Exactly. Like, that's not, like, that's not even... You start thinking to yourself, is that even physically possible to do some shit like that?
Absolutely.
But you know, that was like one of the early lines that caught me.
Okay. So like being in the crib, when did your family realize that you have this gift or this talent, or you were even into words?
Honestly, I wasn't. So as a kid, I didn't write poetry.
Yeah.
I didn't write poetry as a kid. Like I had a thing for words and I liked storytelling.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that I was like practicing. So nobody knew, like, oh, Ali got this gift for storytelling or being able to put words together. Because it wasn't something that I was like pursuing as a kid. It wasn't, like I said, I was influenced by things that was going on outside. So like, I want to go park, play ball.
Yeah.
I want to be outside because the niggas up the block is outside all night. So like, forget wanting to sit down and write and read and shit like that. Like, I'm going to be outside because all my friends and everything is outside, so let me go outside and be a part of the crowd and see what they up to. So it wasn't something I started getting into until I was in like early 20s, maybe like 22, 23.
So then why poetry? Like, because rap and poetry are very similar, but you know, I guess you'll probably be able to explain the difference to the world. Like what makes poetry your thing opposed to rapping?
It's just like the uniqueness of poetry.
If you did it for bitches, bro, you could say that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would understand that. If you did it for the women, bro, it's understandable,
bro. Not at all. You got.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
And not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. For me personally, that's not why I started getting into it.
Alright, let me cut to the chase. Did this shit does it help you with the ladies? Keep it real.
At a point it did.
At a point.
So
when did it not work? Because now you're talking about at a point. Like, when did it not work?
So listen up. When I wanted to be outside running around, the poetry helped with ladies in that regard. That's not like my focus. So it's not like.
So it's really just the art.
It's really just the art.
But it helps. Okay, all right, bet. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
It helps. I mean, having a good female audience help any artist.
Any artist, for sure.
So
sure.
female consumers are the biggest consumers within art.
Well, do you feel like women might judge you or look at you differently because you do poetry? Like they don't think you as sincere? Like, have you ever had issues with that where it's like, oh, this nigga just a poet, he spitting game? Like, you ever had an issue with that?
No.
Damn, that's hard to believe. Like, I would imagine, like, I always think about wives of comedians. Like, I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, and I'll be like, damn, I wonder what it's like to be with somebody who's a comedian. Like, does this nigga tell jokes in the crib and keep it fun in the crib? Like, it gotta be, like, a little difficult. So I always just sit there and imagine, like, what is it like for people who have a specific skill set and, you know, they have to go home and it affects their personal life.
Yeah, I think for the most part, females that I've been involved with in the past and things like that have understood my focus on the art. So it's like, if I'm saying like, yo, I need to go to the studio because I need to finish these pieces and record, like, they understand like that's his focus. So let him have that space and allow him to be within that space.
Oh, so you've been blessed enough to have supportive women or you know in your life, you know. So that's what's up, because sometimes that can distract you. So when you have somebody that supports exactly where you're trying to go with your art, it's a beautiful feeling, you know. It's a beautiful feeling. So let's get back to it. So like you said, you was inspired by the streets. What would you say the allure of the streets was?
Oh, just the flashiness of it. You know, that was just really it. Flashiness of it. Like, you was outside, you just felt like you was older than what you really was. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you was 13 hanging outside, you might have felt like you was 15, 16. You know what I mean? And like, you feeling like can't nobody really tell you. So that's a dope
segue right there. So I'm gonna stop you right there. So when you said you felt older, at what moment, like, because everybody I think experienced this as a teenager where they realize like, damn, I'm not grown or I'm not old. Like, what was that moment for you?
When I felt like I wasn't?
Where you realize like, nah, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna slow down a little bit, because we all try to rush and grow up and be a little fast and shit like that, but it's like we all had that moment where you kind of reality sets in.
The moment for me, I think I like got in trouble with some shit for like school, and I like got into it with my mom's. Yeah. And my mom's just like, and I was like threatening to leave. Yeah. And my mom's just like, go ahead and leave. She's like, pack all the shit that you brought. Anything I brought you, that shit stay here.
What you left with?
And I was just in the closet like, if she dead brought all this shit. Yeah, like, I mean, I probably had like 1 or 2 pair of sneakers that she ain't buy. I'm just like, so I was probably like 13, 14 at that time. So that made me realize like,
I think that's like the normal age where we do start feeling ourselves. Like, I had you know, me and my mom, we always been close, but we had our moments too where we, you know, we both stubborn, we both don't back down. So we definitely had our moments, and the same thing happened.
Like, for a young nigga, you hit puberty, your voice get a little deeper, you start getting some hair on your chest and shit like that. I shot up in height, so I'm like...
Oh, so you wasn't always a tall dude?
I became, like, junior high, 7th grade, that's when I shot up in height. So now I'm like, I'm in the crib, like...
Yeah, flexing.
I'm like, trying to throw my weight around, like... What?
Wait, so you just grew up in the household with women, or was it like 2-parent households?
Nah, so my parents split at a very young age. My parents split, so you know, I was in a household that my grandmother, my mother, my uncle, my 2 younger siblings, my aunt and my cousins for a short period of time. So you know, it was
So it's a lot of different personalities.
A lot of different personalities amongst the crib, but it was, you know, this was the fam. This is life. So it's like, you know, you wake up in the morning. This is
who you gonna see every day.
Who you gonna see, who you got to deal with. You know what I mean? So
So I have a similar situation. My parents split when I was like 11, and I didn't understand probably at the time how much him leaving the crib affected me. Like, it would affect me in my future, because you know, it's like I was kind of glad when they split a little bit, because it was like my mother, obviously, you know, she wasn't happy, so I looked at it like that. But now, like me, I have a daughter. I have a 5-year-old daughter. Shout out to Tori, baby. I love you. I understand the importance of having both parents in the house and how it may affect you later. So, you know, and then my crib kind of became the hub for my family, where it's like if somebody needed to live, like that would be my crib. I've been living with my aunts, my uncles, like cousins. I've lived with everybody, literally. So you kind of learn to adjust to living with multiple personalities, like, because it's not just your immediate family, it's your sister, your brother, but then your uncle who's like, you know, so it's just a little weird, you know. But my upbringing was kind of similar, where it was just like, you know, a lot of personalities in the crib.
So, you know, and it molds you, know what I mean, to, you know, who you shaped up to become later on in life. Just being able to balance out different personalities and, you know, the values and the principles and the integrity that's set within the house. You carry those things when you leave.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
So what do you think is the most important thing you learned amongst living with, you know, multiple members of your family?
My word is my bond. You know what I mean? So that was something my grandfather always taught me. Like, your word is your bond. So it's like, as a man, you might not have much in life. You know what I mean? But the most valuable thing you can give is your word. And when you stand on that, people will respect you for your integrity, your morals, and your principles.
Absolutely.
And he's like, as long as you got that, can't nobody take anything away from you.
Man, I understand.
So I always kept that in the back of my mind, and you know, I stand on those things. So that really helped shape and mold me until, I mean, and then being raised by a majority of women, just having that respect for women and wanting to be protective of women and so forth and so on.
It goes a long way. And it translates like in relationships, even like on your own with female.
And it's funny because you may not realize that when you young and you really going through it, right? So when you want to be outside and so forth and so on, it's like, oh, nah, this is what's going on outside. Like, I need to be outside having fun.
Facts.
But as you get older and you look back on some of the shit, you be like, I was tweaking.
Absolutely.
Like,
we all were.
Like,
we all were.
So then you start tapping back into those conversations and those things and like, oh, nah, I need to be on this side. Like, I need to be doing X, Y, and Z.
But a lot of things don't make sense until you get older. Like, and that's the beauty of life, you know. Like, if you blessed long enough to be around and stick around and shit like that, it's like literally you know, those lessons peek back in your life.
Experiences is the best teacher.
Yeah, so that's your teenage years. So let's talk about your 20s. Like, what was your 20s like?
Just outside, running around a lot.
Yeah, what was you into? You was a party dude. Like what was you into in your 20s?
Parties here and there. I don't. Maybe early on, like 20, 21, 22, just want to be at parties every other week. So like Queens, everybody know Queens back then.
Well, who threw the best parties in Queens? From that time, from that era.
You had a lot of niggas who's throwing.
It might be a conflict of interest. I ain't saying no team names or nothing. Somebody might be present. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Nigga might be putting the mask on right now. I'm just saying so. Let me know.
I don't want to throw no names out there because I don't want nobody from another side to feel no way.
Nah. It's all love in here. I'm just saying. I want to know your perspective.
Damn, who had the best parties back then?
You could be. I mean, it might be biased. It might not. I'm gonna be biased.
I might be biased for my own home team.
So go ahead. Who your home team? Shout
out to the whole One Focus squad.
Okay.
I mean, when we used to do our little summertime barbecues and we had our boat party and shit, we had the whole borough outside. Like we really had the town outside. So if I'm gonna shoot for anybody, I'm gonna shoot for the home team. So I'm gonna be biased in that way.
All right, that's fair. That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to the whole team. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah. I wasn't really a party person. When I did go to parties though, it was this guy, Different World. You heard of Different World? Yeah,
okay.
That's
Different World has some.
Yeah.
Different World has some good events.
Yeah, they about to venture off into like other. They not gonna just throw parties. They planning weddings and shit now.
Oh, shout out to them.
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
Listen, man. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, nah. I mean, it's a market and everything, and that's a dope thing. Like even like you said, back to your art and what you're doing. It's a market. So, talk about some of the transgressions you have with, you know, or if you do have any transgressions with creating, or you know, just trying to navigate through this shit? Because that sometimes might be the hardest part. Like, it's really difficult. Sometimes you might not feel like you have a lot of support. You know, sometimes it's fun. It's just a different things that could make you feel like, yo, I don't even want to do this shit, even though you feel in your heart that you're nice, you know. So talk about any of your transgressions, if you have any.
For me, it's been like just dealing with grievances. I mean, dealing with, like, I've been in this space where I've lost like more than a handful of people.
Okay.
So it's like that, man. Once you go through those things, it's like constantly trying to find like the motivation and the strength to get up and like want to go create. Like want to go sit in the studio and listen to this and like want to sit down and write this poem or write that poem.
So what keeps you motivated? Like, what do you have, a muse? Like, or anyone in your life that would be like, damn, like they inspired me?
Yeah, I have tons of people. So I mean, who?
Tell me a few.
I mean, definitely my mom's. I mean, strong woman. Definitely my mom's, my pops. You know, just family, friends. I mean, people I keep closest to me. Yeah. You know, I've never really been known to really have, like, I know a lot of people, but I always kept the circle. You know what I mean? That circle small. So like just those people within that small circle continue to give me motivation. If you know, if they see me out of pocket in any way, then they pulling me to the side like, yo, bro, you need to get back. Like, nah, you need to focus up. You need to get back to this.
So do you feel in any way that possibly having a small circle hinders your process? Because for me, it's been like I grew up in a like very close-knit family, few friends. Like, I've had the same friends for 20 plus years. So it's like, you know, you don't get a chance to step out and experience the world. But then I start hanging out more, then it was like, yo, damn, like all of us are really connected. We all pretty much have a lot more in common than we realize. So to me, it's like, do you feel like, damn, maybe if I stepped out and hung out with other crowds and shit like that, it'll open me up to a new world? Especially what you're doing, because you want the recognition. Right. So it's like,
I've never had that issue within the circle. Yeah. Because it's like we always embrace each other. Okay. To go do what it is that you need to do for, you know, and like we always gonna show love and respect and support to one another. So it's like, yo, if you want to go be the best poet you want to be, go do that. Now I mean, and whatever steps you taking towards that, we gonna be behind you 100%. If you want to go out and sell bootlegs, go be the best bootleg seller. Now I mean, if we gonna be, if I gotta buy 10, 15 copies myself, I'm gonna go buy 10, 15 copies. I mean, so that's never been like our downfall. It's just, I mean, we always been in that space where we constantly push each other.
Okay, so it's never been a lack of support within your immediate circle. Okay, nah, because I'm saying, like, I see memes, like I'm sure you've seen memes too, where it's like somebody will post, oh, you posted Rihanna, like for instance, you post congratulations to Rihanna and ASAP, but I got my online boutique and y'all not reposting it.
And you know, I understand where that comes from, because it's like, why not support the
I think that shit is super weird anyway. Like, not even just on the local shit, because I might, like sometimes I really forget to repost shit and stuff like that. There's people that I might genuinely fuck with, but sometimes I forget. I think it's weird to repost celebrities and shit anyway. Like, niggas be saying happy birthday, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, what do you think it is? Like, what's the issue with people feeling like they need to be included or a part of something? Because that's what it seems like. It's like people just need to be attached to a moment just to feel like you know, they're like they're important. It's weird.
It's the internet. The internet makes you feel like you have more validity than you actually do, or I mean, make you feel like you're a part of this like secret society and so forth and so on. So like, I think people just tend to like get lost and caught up with
people hide behind the internet, like
too. So
100%. And you know, I get it. I understand. Like, that's just the word. I just didn't grow up like that, you know.
Like,
so we like the last generation where we kind of was outside, and then
we come from a totally different
yeah,
upbringing and world from that. Like, now you could sit, I could sit on my phone in my basement and tweet you all day
and be who you want to be.
And, like, I don't have to come outside. Like, you never have to see me. Back then, like, you said you was X, Y, and Z. Like, you had to go outside and show that. Like, you don't have to do that now.
Facts.
So it's it's a weird space to like operate in and try to maneuver in, because it's like you have these people who like pretend they could just pretend to be whoever they are, and it's like,
and that's the thing where it's like you don't even have to be credible. It's like literally you could create, you could sit in your room like you said and tweet and be who you want to be from this moment. You ain't gotta do shit. You ain't gotta have money. You ain't gotta be anything. You could wear the fakest jewelry. You could be literally like this shit is wild. But like you said, that's the time we live in. It's the time we live in. So back to poetry now, because that's what got us sitting here today. So when did you feel like, all right, I can make this a career?
It wasn't until my second poetry event. So when I first started doing poetry events, I would set them up. I would be the only artist performing.
Yeah.
So I would perform like 8-9 pieces.
Okay.
So very first event I had, it might have been like 15 people. You know what I mean? Like family and friends or whatever. Second event I had, I packed the whole spot out.
Wow, that's dope.
So now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, nah, this feels like, just the feeling, the support of it feels different. So I'm like, oh, nah, I could really make a run with this.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, nah, let's really get into full gear and like really push. So that became the moment. That was back in 2016, maybe 2017.
Okay.
And then I was just like, oh, nah, I gotta, like, I can't even play around with it no more.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta push the envelope with it.
And that's a blessing, like, because usually, like you said that was your second event where you packed it out. A lot of people don't even get that kind of support. It's like a long road to where, until you get that support and you see a room full of people here for you. So that's dope, that a lot of people don't get a chance to experience that shit. So let's talk about poetry that's in rap music. Like, for me, one of the first times that I realized I like poetry is I don't know if you're familiar, but it's a song on College Dropout called Never Let You Down with Kanye and Jay-Z, and they had, I think, The Last Poet. I think is the gentleman name, I don't know, but just that part of it was like one of the most integral parts of that song for me. It was like, it stood out. Like, I knew I already liked Kanye, I knew I already liked Jay, but it was just like, for this dude to stand like in his own pocket and just command the song, he really was like the highlight of the song for me. Right. So it was like, damn, like this shit really is like rap and poetry is one and the same. They coexisted on a wonderful song.
Absolutely.
That's timeless to me, in my opinion. So what about poetry and music for you? Like, is it anybody in particular, like a Wale?
Wale, definitely. Wale's up there for me.
Yeah.
Nas was probably like truly the first one for me.
Okay.
Nas, so just going back listening to like Illmatic, One Love, The World Is Yours, shit like that. Common.
Yeah. Oh man.
Common is like one of the illest to do it. Lauryn Hill. Of course Tupac, gotta put Pac in there. Yeah. Wale, Kendrick. I mean, it's a long list of artists, but those were like, Nas was really probably like the first person I was like, oh nah, he's like, he's a poet, right? It's like, he's just not, he's a street poet. Yeah. So it's like, when I heard him, I was like, man, this shit is so relatable. Like, I'm just like, I need to hear more of it. I mean, so.
All right, so, because that seems like your pocket. Like, a lot of the stuff that you send me personally and a lot of stuff that I went and listened to, it's in that pocket of like an old school like rap sound. Like you pick a lot of classic beats and stuff like that. So like, talk about that. Like, why do you choose those beats opposed to any other options you have?
Man, it might just be like, sometimes I might just be listening to the song on like on a drive or maybe just in the house. Yeah. Okay. Chilling. I like hear the song and I'm like, oh, now I need to write to this. Yeah. Know what I mean? Like, let me just put this together. Yeah. So, and it just like classic hip hop beats that like I always liked, and like, let me just see how it would sound reciting a poem over.
All right, cool. See, and I think like for me, even like you named a list of artists where they incorporate the poetry aspect in it, but to me, I think Wale kind of like made it like popular in my opinion. Yeah. Like, because he rapped, but he also took the time to like maybe drop the beat and just show you how poetic he can be. Yeah. It's like it's dope, and it seemed like the ladies loved it. Like I remember the first time like I was introduced to Wale and he was on his poetry shit and it was like, you know, women actually was talking about the fact that he did poetry and shit like that. So he definitely made it like a popular thing.
Yeah, Wale to me is definitely one of those underrated artists. To me, I don't think he get a lot of respect for just the poetry aspect that he's given and brung to hip hop. But I definitely put him up there, top of my list. So he's definitely been like one of my inspirations. If I hear something, I'm like, oh man, I need to go sit down and go write to something real quick. So.
Okay. So let's talk about the culture. Like, I guess the hip hop culture. I'm gonna call it today. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Like the position that it's in now. Like, do you think it's in a good place?
I think it's overall it's in a good place. You know, just seeing so many artists being able to get the opportunity. To come out and express themselves and, you know, create art. I do think you got to just kind of weave through like what's nice and what's not. You know what I mean? Because, you know, although you have tons of artists putting out stuff, everybody's not nice. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, it's always somebody for everybody. So even as people that I don't fuck with, like I've never been a 6ix9ine fan, even before the whole like snitch shit. He just never like grabbed my attention, but this motherfucker was packing out arenas and stadiums and shit like that.
The younger generation, the kids love him. You know what I mean? The kids love him. So like you said, there's somebody for everybody. You know what I mean? So even if you don't like a certain artist, somebody else is just gonna fuck with them. So you just gotta be able to find like with your pocket, find your like what your vibe is and just fuck with that.
So what do you think about the internet culture? Like as far as like for example, what Kanye and Kim is going through right now, like kind of publicly having a fake custody battle, or you know, just expressing their grievances with one another as parents. Like, what do you think about that shit?
I feel like certain shit like that is not for the internet.
It's not
for the
and
internet.
I love Ye.
You know what I mean? It's not for the internet. Because at some point in time, like, your kids gonna see that shit.
They get older and they realize.
You know what I mean? Like, as you know what I mean? So it's like, you think of the kids in that aspect, like, your kids gotta go to school and, like, deal with that type of shit. Like, oh, your pops was wilding out on your moms on the internet, or your mom said this. Like, they shouldn't be having to go through that type of shit. So, like, to me, just certain shit, personal shit like that, just it's off limits. That shit stay off the internet.
Nah, I agree.
I mean, and it becomes entertaining for us at times, but then when you really sit down and like, yo, that could be like traumatizing for. I mean,
and for me, with Ye, I don't think I ever disagree with anything he's ever done. Like even the whole MAGA hat, Trump shit. Like, I that shit like that don't even be that serious. But I guess this resonates with me because I have a kid and I can't imagine like putting my daughter through this shit, or you know, beefing with her mom on the internet and shit like that. Like to me, it was just like, come on, like this is the one thing that I can't really fuck with them on.
I don't have kids, but like I think back when like my moms and my pops used to go at it and like be in public. Like you think about like how embarrassed you felt as a kid, like shit, like
wait, you ain't got no kids?
No kids.
No. These bitches ain't out here trying to trap you?
Thankfully not.
What you mean?
Thankfully not, man.
Nah, they ain't. Nigga, you told, you got the bed and all that shit, nigga. You.
Listen, man.
Nah, you avoiding that shit?
When God ready for me, tell me. He ain't ready for me yet. Man.
Nah, man.
I mean, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you want children, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you ain't seen the show, bro. I know it's personal. You ain't got to answer it.
I see it down the line, like having that family.
Okay.
You know, having the kids, the wife, and things like that. I definitely do see it part of the picture for myself. You know what I mean? But it's just like I just haven't reached to that threshold yet.
So what do you feel like you're not ready, or is it just like what do you think? Like,
I think I still got a lot more growing up to do. You know what I mean?
When do we ever stop growing?
Right.
I hate when people say shit like that, because it's like, when do you ever stop growing? So what I'm saying
is in a more mental, emotional space era. Now I mean, like getting to that space emotionally and mentally, like being able to like, because get committed in that's a commitment. That's a lifelong commitment. So it's like I don't want to step into that space
Absolutely.
and like half-ass the space for whatever the reason is. Know what I mean?
Oh, so you seem like you scared, bro. If you scared, you scared.
I mean, I think everybody got a little fear of something.
Nah, but it's
Know what
like
I mean?
your fear is about half-assing the situation. Do you feel like you're a half-ass nigga?
I don't think I'm a half-ass nigga, but I just know that's a higher commitment than it's easy. That's a whole lot higher than just having somebody and like you going to the movies, you getting something to eat and shit like that.
But that's a commitment in
Know what
itself
I mean?
to me.
It's a commitment
Like
in itself.
to me, I don't differentiate any of those things. To me, it's just like, and I don't know, like a couple of my friends got married last year, and I asked them like, which changed, what's different? It's like nothing. It's like, yo, this is my girl still. Like, I guess when y'all share that love and y'all feel the same way and it's mutual, it's like the sky's the limit, bro. Like, it ain't about a different level of commitment. Like, it's just a change in a title. Yeah, you have my last name if that's the situation that y'all work out. But at the end of the day, yeah, I just think it's all a commitment, even in dating. And I'm realizing that because women want consistency.
Right.
They love consistency. And to me, that's a form of commitment. If you want to create a project, you gotta lock in. You gotta be committed into seeing it through. And I think once men realize that, even like me, like it took me a while to realize that, like even when you dating, you kind of want to, kind of put your best foot forward because you get judged for that. Because I ain't gonna lie, I judge women. Like I will judge them based off how they treat me, even in the dating stages. Because it's like, nah, you not somebody for me.
Right.
So. I mean, that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, and so like the way I look at it is like if I'm married or like just in a long-term committed relationship, right? Like I gotta be able to hold myself accountable for like the feelings that I give you, right? So like if I get pissed off at something and I don't want to be bothered, I just can't ignore you.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't just ignore.
No, you can't ignore the feelings.
Right, but if I'm like just by myself and I'm shit like I don't have to answer the phone for you. Oh, okay. I don't have to like. I don't have to.
Women will call you toxic, bro.
Right. So like.
How many times have you heard that?
I think I've been called toxic a lot.
What you think that stem from? Like you don't like accountability?
I think it stems from just how I was handling the situation at that time. Yeah. I mean, I was being immature, or I was being selfish. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, once you get past that point of like, then you start to understand how it is you need to carry yourself in certain aspects. So it's like, okay, I used to do this. I mean, but now I'm seeing the patterns that I was doing. Or this may be related to this type of shit that I was growing up dealing with. Okay. Now I mean, it's just that when you younger and you in that type of space, you can't see it from the other side like that.
And you don't.
Know what I mean? So as you get older and you start to reflect, you go, oh shit. When this happened, that shit triggered me. So now that put me in this space. So now I'm handling these relationships and these situations in a certain manner. Right? Because you going like, I'm handling it out of fear or I'm handling it like to protect myself.
To protect yourself.
But what you really doing is like, damaging the next person. Yeah. Know what I mean? So you repeating the same cycle that you got caught up in.
Damn, so you was out here damaging a lot.
I wouldn't say I was outside damaging a lot.
Bro, you seem like you got a lot of experience. The way you broke that shit down, you seem like you was out here.
I'm just more mentally aware of, okay, I was being immature like this.
Nah, and definitely, you know what I mean?
So it's like once you're in a different space, you gotta operate different. You gotta move different. Definitely. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not up for whoever I'm involved with to manage my behavior. No. You know what I mean? It's my behavior, my emotions. I gotta be able to manage that shit myself.
Facts.
You know what I mean? The only thing I should be able to look for you for is support and assistance and some guidance along the way, but it's not up to you to manage my shit. I gotta be
that
able
makes
to
a lot of
manage my
sense.
shit.
I never looked at it.
And just like it's not up for me to manage your shit. Yeah, those are your emotions. Know what I mean? At the end of the day, we all gotta be able to look in the mirror and be like, we're comfortable with who we are and how we deal with our shit. So it's not up for, you know what I mean? So I can't depend on somebody else to manage my shit.
So accountability is huge for you then.
Yeah. It's become like that thing for me. Like I gotta be able to be accountable for my shit.
All right, that's dope. All right, man. Well, we're gonna take a break. for a second, pull up a little bit, chill.
Absolutely, let's do it.
10 toes down, we be right back, baby.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. It's nice to meet you. I seen you from across the room, so I figured I'd come and greet you. My name is Ali. Don't know if you heard of me or maybe you have. Maybe you just didn't know it was me when you first noticed me. At first I was waiting for you to come and talk to me, ironically, while the DJ was playing Jodeci. My apologies if I'm coming on too strong, but I've been waiting on this moment for way too long. I know you're wondering what it is that I want from you. Honestly, just for you to have faith in me. Now I know you mistakenly invested your time in those who claim to be real. Just take a look into my eyes as they become the window to my soul. You can feel there's no fake.
Yo, welcome back. We tapped in with my man Ali, man. We just getting comfortable. We just was vibing to some fucking Drake, man. We got some differences when it comes to Drake. And it's quite obvious that he hating on the guy. He's hating on the guy. Now I ain't gonna take it that far, but I feel like Drake is special, I'm not the hugest Drake fan, but the guy is super, super talented. And I think whoever has to stand in front of that man on the verses is gonna have a long fucking night. Like, what do you think about that? Who do you think that would be able to go against Drake in the verses? Hove. You think Hove got enough hits?
That shouldn't even be a real.
No. Obviously, Hove has hits, but we talking about them shits where they just super impactful. Like, outside of the obvious, you got Hard Knock Life, Give It To Me, fucking Public Service Announcement, those sing-along shits. But you think about it, Drake been out for what, a decade now? A little over a decade now. His whole catalog is straight up hits. So who could really stand in front of that?
Hove been out since when?
96.
So if we talking catalog, his catalog says enough and does enough where he standing in front of Drake it wouldn't be a problem.
So you think,
not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, but it's not going to be a problem.
I don't know, bro.
It's not going to be a problem.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully we get to witness that shit at some point.
That's going to be a versus we ain't never going to see.
I mean, if the bag is right, they just going to have to give them, what they deserve. Rightfully so. Both of their catalogs are very, very worthy of a huge, huge bag. So, we'll see, hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully. So, even back to the music, is there anybody that you want to collaborate with and maybe possibly do any, work with?
Yeah, man. I would love to do something with, her.
Yeah.
LMA.
Dope.
We just listened to the Brent Fire, so I would love to do something with Brent.
Yeah.
Nas, of course. Wale, just on some poetry shit.
Yeah. So have you ever worked with anybody or even encountered them, been in areas where it's rappers and shit around? Have you been in that space before?
Yeah,
you get starstruck? You ever been starstruck?
Once. I was probably 8 years old. I seen LL. It was at church. He just shook my hand and it was
yeah.
All right, what's up, little man? I was oh shit. Yeah. LL shook my hand, but other than that, never been starstruck.
Yeah, I had a moment similar to that with Lamar Odom. He's from my side in Queens, and when I realized he was from my side in Queens, it was one of those things where it's damn, I seen him in Lincoln Park, and this is somebody I see on TV. This is when he was playing with the Clippers, he was handling the ball he was like that.
Lamar.
So yeah, it was damn, this Lamar Odom. So it's one of those feelings that you'll never forget. Like you said, you was 8. I probably was maybe 9 or something like that. But it was one of those moments this nigga 6'10". You don't see people that tall every day, but you definitely notice a difference immediately.
Yeah. Stuff like that, I always look for inspiration.
Yeah,
because they come from where we come from. Know what I mean? So Lamar's from your block.
Exactly.
I mean, LL's from Hollis.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's if Lamar could do it, LL could do this shit. I'm this shit ain't far fetched.
Yeah,
we could pave the path for the next ones coming up.
So what do you think separates them from, I guess, a regular civilian?
Just the work and dedication they put in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They believe in themselves that much. Where it's I'm gonna go get this, and I gotta be able to sleep, eat, whatever. This is So you think about how many jump shots Lamar Odom had to shoot in Lincoln Park
to make it to that point.
To make it to that point. How many raps LL had to write in his notebook to get to that point. So it's like everything they receiving now comes from those sleepless nights of them sitting in the park or sitting in the studio, so forth and so on. So like they made those sacrifices that some people don't make and able to get to where they are now.
Okay, now that makes sense. It makes sense. So we not gonna let you browse over because you brought up two of my favorite female artists, her and Ella May. Her is a frequent in my GTD playlist. You know what GTD is?
Explain it to me.
Got the Draws playlist. And matter of fact, we gonna start this today. The GTD playlist is something that on every episode, whoever my guest is, they will add one song of their choice to add to the GTD playlist. It's gonna be on Apple Music. It's gonna be an open forum where whatever song he suggests is gonna be on it. So he's gonna be the first person. So you blessed enough. I've never done it. This is the first time I'm mentioning it.
I can't even fuck the list. So
go ahead. So start it off. So GTD.
So wait,
get the draws.
I get one.
Get the draws, bro. One song. I'm only giving you one song. Matter of fact, because you're the first person, this is the inauguration. I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna give you two songs, but they gotta be fire, bro. And if any of them shits I don't fuck with, I'm letting you know I'm dropping them off my list right now. So I'm gonna give you two choices.
Damn. All right. So my first choice, I'm gonna go with Neo Nera.
That's a good one. That's impressive.
Gotta go with Neo Nera.
That's impressive. I ain't gonna lie.
Second joint, you put a lot of pressure. I'm the first person.
You're the first one. That's why I
gotta set the standard for everybody else.
Go ahead.
My second joint gonna be, give me Trey Songz. Neighbors Know My Name.
You going with Trey in this comment, bro? I don't know. There's some allegations on him right now. I don't know if you choose another one, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Until this shit get cleared up with him.
Else?
Yeah, until this shit get cleared up with him, I can't put him on the GTD list. So go ahead.
All right. So we not gonna do that one. Then let's go. We gotta go. I'm gonna take it back on some like my parents grew up on.
Go ahead.
Between the Sheets.
The Isleys?
The Isleys, Between the Sheets.
All right, so that's not sticking with me. I'm not gonna give you Between the Sheets.
We're
too young. No, I told you. It's up to me. I'm the leader of this shit. What stays is on me. So I'm gonna go with your first one. Mirror is good.
So how we breaking this down? We breaking this down by, because I thought I had free range.
No, you can make the suggestion. I fuck with one of them.
Okay.
Isley's is a hit, but nah, that might fuck up my shit in the bedroom. I ain't gonna lie, because that ain't my era. You know, Mirror is my shit. Neo is my dude. So I understand that. So that's gonna be the first song that y'all see on the playlist.
So then I'm gonna switch off the Isleys.
I'm
gonna go with the Dream. Purple Kisses.
All right, that's fair. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy. So yeah. All right. So those are gonna be the first two songs you see. And like I said, every person that I interview and that comes on this platform will add us onto the GTD playlist. It stands for Get the Draws. I'm very clear about that. Understand what it's about. So any artists after this, please understand that. Come with fire. Be prepared. Be prepared. Thank you.
When you playing this playlist though?
No, you're gonna see it. I'm gonna create it tonight. I haven't done it. I just thought about this shit on the spot, bro. I just thought about it on the spot. I just think that it's a cool way to engage, have people engage, you know, and be a part of the growth of the platform, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, it's special. You was the first one to do it, so thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, cool. So I'm a huge R&B guy. You know, I love R&B.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, like I probably listen to that more than I listen to rap, and her
100%.
is probably my shit. So I'm gonna throw one of my songs up there now. So that's how it'll go. You'll throw one of your songs up there. So I'm gonna go. Since we on her, one of my favorite songs from her is "Comfortable." Okay. I don't know if y'all familiar with that, but that's one of them joints. When you set the mood and you set the vibe, it's just gonna go there. Trust me, it's gonna go there. Understand. So that's one of them ones for me. So you're gonna see those two songs on the GTD playlist tonight.
All right, that's fine.
Right. Hold on, who's that? That's the boy tripping. All right, cool. So now back to this. So what do you have coming up? Like, what are some things that the people could look forward to?
Oh man, I'm currently working on a mixtape.
Okay. You have a
mixtape.
name?
It's called Spoken Poetry Volume 1.
Okay.
Just really me just reciting poems over classic hip hop beats. Something what I've been doing, but just giving people a full collection of it. No release date yet. I'm currently in the studio working now.
Okay, all right.
On it. So I got some fire beats that I think people would be surprised to hear me recite some poetry.
Oh, okay. So what you doing something different than what you usually do?
Yeah and no. So it's like the last few joints that I put out, of course it's always been over classic hip hop beats. So I'll continue that. And it's just something to feed the people with until I get back into the next album, next poetry project.
All right.
And then once I start cooking up for that, man, it's go time. You know, shows, you know, events, some merch, so forth and so on. So, you know, the sky's the limit around it.
All right. Cool. All right, I like that. And that's dope. So tell the people where they can find you. You know, like on Instagram, SoundCloud.
Yes,
I know. Let the people know.
I mean, IG, my artist page is One Focus Dope Poet. Tap in with me. My personal IG page is Ali_XII. Tap in with me. SoundCloud, you know, One Focus Dope Poet. Tap in with yours truly. Man, things gonna get heated up real quick. 2022. Be locked in.
So word, go tap in with the guy, man. Like I said, he's been genuine from our first interaction, and I appreciate that. You don't really run into a lot of that these days, you know. So he's a good dude, a dope brother. So tap in with him, go check out his work. He already let y'all know he got some things coming. Just be prepared for it. And man, I appreciate you,
my guy.
Step on my platform and giving me a chance with, you know, trying to broaden your fan base, you know. So hopefully this will help out. And yo, like I said, man, it's only the beginning. Rocking with the best. It's your boy Stoug. 10 toes down. We out.